rolling up my sleeves so y'all can get ready with me as I do my makeup for a job interview. I like to start off first with a primer and I put that all over. Then I brush and tame my brows and I go in with a powder brow application is what I use. I use an angle brush and I dip it in the powder and I kind of fill in where I feel is needed. I like a nice full looking brow. And then I go in with a light concealer that's a few shades lighter or so than me. And I kind of draw it to the shape of my brows and I brush down and then blend. So I get as close as to that line as possible and I brush down and blend. So after that, I take another concealer shade that's more close to my natural skin tone and I do the same up top. I like a sculpted brow. Some people skip this step, but I like a pretty sculpted brow. So I do the same. I brush up and blend. And here are the brows. So then I take that same concealer and I go in areas that I want to kind of camouflage and correct and I blend that out. Then after I do that, I go into doing my eyeshadow. So first I like to take a shadow and go under my brow bone. Then I go into my crease. And then I go in my crease more with a deeper color if I want it more exaggerated. And today I decided to put something over my lid. Then after that, I go in with my foundation. Ooh, that looks like skin. I love it. Anyway, I go in my foundation and I go in all over. I go over the areas that I corrected before and I just try to give me a nice little even layer all over. Then I go into contouring and y'all, if y'all like making faces while you do your makeup, I don't know if you're doing it right, but I like to make faces and instruct my clients to do the same. The purpose of that is either to stretch areas that need to be stretched or to pronounce areas like right now doing my cream contour that I really want to make sure I sculpt and build. And then after that, I get under my chin as well because I want to sculpt that area as well. Then I go into blending. Right now I'm taking a blending concealer brush. I blend out the corners and then I also blend out under my eye. But I also end up taking a triangle powder puff and I blend out the rest of my concealer with it. To me, it doesn't take off as much product where I want to have the most coverage. And then after that, I add a light dusting or patting pat of powder all over my face. I start with under my eyes and I go from there. Then I'm taking my contour powder and I'm going over where I put the cream contour just to pronounce and set that even more. And then after that, I take my bronzer. I love bronzer. Look at it over my cheeks. I take it right on top of the contour. And so it's in between the contour and the concealer as a good transition. Then I also like to take a powder for my waterline underneath. And I also take, just to highlight that area a little more, a pressed powder that has color to it. And then finally, I add blush. I'm so glad blush is coming back. I'm such a blush girly. I set my face and voila. Here's my makeup for my interview. And this is what I decided to wear for my interview. A nice, simple black dress. Thank you guys for tuning in and bye.